top 10 years. The rest of this is
most of those rings are except for, and the third is a much heavier style of rock. I speak to Maximilian and Sir Larry. Your jousting scores will be as such. A knight will earn 2 points if he strikes his opponent's shield. He'll earn 3 points if he shatters that opponent's shield or his own lance. And the highest accolade is 4 points when he impales the entirety of his opponent's shield upon the tip of his lance to parade him past the end of the rail, just like those block shots. Are we agreed, sir? That's what we love to hear. Gentlemen and golden ladies, are you ready for the shout? Then, gentlemen, begin your line-up process, and on my command, let the joust here begin.
You vile knave!
That's 2 points to the moon. And golden ladies, Sir Larry broke the first line from the tournament. That's 3 points to the state. Good. For every single pass, as we do not want discrepancies in points between previous strikes. Hence the need for confirmation to see if the mark has been made. Now let us see the story of Jousting. He stands in the corner of the guard and is ready to face off against the very, very experienced Sir Maximilian.
You're on the right side. I mean, his side's terrible, so you want to buy ours. But all in one, you're supporting them all the way. I know you want it. You gotta stick around. When everyone's gone, he's still gonna be here.
Now this is the fourth and final chance for our Maximilian is now fully armed and second in the corner.
like how you're wearing that flannel, but I think you have an unhealthy addiction to litter. I'd say that's an exercise 10 further.
Back up a little.
I got his arm. Watch out.
Here, come on down over here. Here, scoot these tomatoes all the way down to the end for me, sir.
Hey, $5.
So you want 30 for 20, the whole family can play? Not those. 15 back. There you go, scoot all the way down next to him.
Yeah, they're gonna.
See, I'm gonna shut that guy up.
All Venmo you.
Oh!
Why are you so angry? Calm down. It was only one night and she still loves you.
Oh.
God,
Oh.
find one tomato seed on your
I want a whole tomato.
I know, that's how they get you.
I know it.
For these little
right
quarters.
here.
Hey!
Well, you got him.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Oh, because it's right there.
Fellow examines the coin. He's going to strike it with his hammer. Ready, Jen? You strike it and he'll strike it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I was, but it was more so like.
Done the work, but he has not finished. If you would hold up your hand, you would look at the fellow now. You would, Jen, on the little thing. 1, 2, 3. Our man has made a dab.
What?
That, you see, my friends, the magic shooting his
I wasn't expecting that.
That was awesome.
mercy.
Yeah.
If you want to, we can walk over these rights right here.
Ian, that's awesome.
Ian, it's up to you.
All right, friends.
Do it, Ian. You have to. It's all you, bro.
All right. He's right. He's walking in the rhetoric right there. And what I like is that he's in support of my declaration, and he has no idea what it says. You are perfect for my constituency, sir. Let's see if you agree with all of these. Ready? Should we go from 10 to 1 and 1 to 10?
1 to 10.
1 to 10, very well. Article 1. No taxation without replication.
Yeah!
Which means, my friends, we should be allowed to make a copy of any money we pay in taxes. All in favour?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Hey!
Huzzah! Irish war affirmative friends, aye!
Hey!
All right then. Article
All right
2,
then.
the right to the freedom of enchantment, which allows fairies to do anything outside the realm of human possibility. All in favour?
Hey!
All right then. Article 4. Article 3, the right to invisibility, self-explanatory. We just went over that one actually. Article 4, the right to bear heavy juju. Self-explanatory, right? Article 6, the right to the freedom of enchantment. Article 7, the legalization of fairy foodstuffs, i.e. the right to be baked. Article 7,
Explain some mushrooms.
the right not to be baked. I hear tell that brownies are being sent to the ovens. This is genocide, must be stopped. Article 8, the right to suffrage. Aye?
Aye. Aye.
Article 9, the right to natural fashion, i.e. to come as you are. And Article 10, and most importantly, the right to party like it's 2,999. All in favour?
Hey!
All right then. Any of you who wish can sign this constituency and do your part for ferry freedom. As he walks, give him a big round. There we go. Yeah, that's excellent. Woo. This man is sticking up for ferry freedom. And when I mean ferries, friends, I mean trans-dimensional, not transsexual. Try as you might. Oh, look at that. My man, he's getting his little motion into it. Well played. And she signs it in red on the top like she's correcting something. I like that. Well played. My God, you're winning individual rights lately. Everything is down in the margins below. Ask him to wake up.
Wake up?
No. Oh. Jen, ask him to lie down.
Please lie down.
Jen, I think you made him nervous. Hey, Jen, ask him to come out.
Please come out.
Jen, I think he likes you. I think he wants you to light a fire. Jen, you light. Do you hold on to that?
Yeah.
Some things you light. Let us see, Jen. Ah, these, Jen. These are his favourite. Yours too? Excellent, all right. The next thing we need, Jen, is we need some plate to light the fire. Let us see here. Ah, my pet's bowl. Now, some people, Jen, would think it redundant to use both a paper and a bowl. Shame on you, Jen. That is not the sort of fire we're going to light. That sort of fire dulls the senses. This one inspires them. That in mind, Jen. Go ahead, light his fire. He loves it. We'll play with matches.
There you go.
Drop it in there, Jen. I think we're very excited indeed. But you will note the paper has not burned away. Rather, Jen, I believe our friend has singed you a message. And no doubt, Jen, as he's a spirit of inspiration, it must be a very deep message. Go ahead, open it up.
What does it say?
She's working the suspense, man. Go ahead, we're milking this moment, right? We're milking it right now. We're milking it.
Milk.
You are hot.
I told you like that.
Well, thank you.
Well, that's a message from the salamander, Jen, but he's got great...
And here we go.
That's a doesn't look like
He's watching me like a hawk. Nicely done. Now comes the fun part, getting this away from him. He has around 325 pounds of pressure of gripping power in each foot, and he generally does not like to give this back. Can I have it back, please? That would be no. Can I please have it? Mine. He's not letting it go. I'm going to have to utilize an ancient falconer's trick to get this away. Do you want to see an ancient trick? Yeah! Okay, watch closely. This is not the lure you're looking for. Oops! I dropped some food. What? It works every time. A beer? And he's done a fine job for us here today. Now this is called the African auger buzzard, but what does he look like? A hawk, you're right, it is a hawk, it's in the hawk family. Apparently the bat hawk family.
That's funny.
But in other countries, in Africa and Europe where they're found, hawks are actually named buzzards, whereas here in the States, vultures are sometimes called buzzards. The difference is, there's not actually an animal here in this country that's named a buzzard like this one is. So what he's doing right now, he's trying to elicit an extra reward. So he thinks if he grabs on like this, I'm going to give him an extra piece of food to make him let go. So we're just going to wait him out. Some of you parents may be familiar with this tactic. It's exactly the same thing. It's okay, he has wings. Alright, over here, up. Up here, up. He's done a fine job, we'll send him back inside. Up, say goodbye to Orion, everyone. Welcome.
Yeah!
Now, both of these are members of the horned owl family, but they are very different birds. This is actually a great horned owl, and his name is Owlbus, and Owlbus is a very powerful hunter. He has approximately 250 pounds of gripping power in each foot, which allows him to hunt for things like rabbits, rats, squirrels, mice, snakes as a part of their diet. Does anybody happen to know what the horned owl's favorite food actually is? Children's a fantastic answer, but not the one I'm looking for today. I'll give you a hint. It's black and white and smelly all over. That's right. So it's a really good thing they don't have a sense of smell, isn't it? Now this one is also a horned owl, but it's a very different kind of horned owl. This is the largest member of the horned owl family, and it's also the largest type of owl on Earth. This is called an eagle owl. They're found in Europe and Asia, and they are also very powerful birds. This one has between 600 and 800 pounds of pressure and gripping power in those feet, which allows her to add foxes to the list of her diet as well. She's a very, very powerful hunter. Now, we're actually going to do something special with Owlbus here with a little special story. So for now, say goodbye to His Majesty's favorite, the Royal Hooters, lords and ladies. What? What? Did you notice the left one was bigger? If they get it, it's not my fault.
It only gets worse.
She said, don't encourage me, it only gets worse. She's right, you know, but I'm just going to wing it from here. It's my birthday, I'll say whatever I want. Thank you. She said he turns 50. He does. Hey, and I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow. So let's talk about what we came here to talk about. This is Albus Dumbledore. The reason that he's in captivity is because he was actually found as a baby bird at the bottom of a tree by a hiker who took him to a wildlife center where they intended to raise him and return him back to the wild where he belongs. However, for some reason, the middle feathers in both of his wings never grew in. He could not fly. That is until, guess what's happened this past summer? They finally grew in. So we are going to give him a little test flight here today with an audience present. So here we go. I'd like to introduce everybody to the flighted Albus Dumbledore. So you heard that sound he makes, right? It's not the familiar hooting sound. That's not an unhappy sound, that's actually a baby sound. That's the sound that a baby makes to a parent when it's asking for food. That's right. The problem is he's 4 years old now, and he never stops making that sound ever, whether he's hungry or not. All right. So, hey, do you want to hear him hoot? All right, let's give it a go. Big bird sound. Well, apparently he doesn't give a hoot today, lords and ladies. Oh, come on, you were expecting that one, weren't you? Say goodbye to Albus Dumbledore, lords and ladies. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And incidentally, yesterday was the 24th anniversary of the day that we started dating. That's right. here. Oh, all right. So we get to celebrate that every 4 years. These are the vultures found here in this country. There's a turkey vulture which has a red head, and the black vulture which we're going to meet here today. Now, this bird's going to do a special demonstration for us today to show us that birds can in fact see in color. To do that, our little Princess Piper is going to choose one of the colors. Yellow is going to be his color today. Let's actually move down here a little bit further. We're going to put all of these out. They're all the same size and shape, just different colors. This is a way that we tell whether an animal can see in color or not, because they're all just the same size and shape, just different colors. All right? So when he comes out here, I'm going to tell him which one to find, and let's see if he picks the right one. Here we go. Food's away. Lords and ladies, welcome Igor, the black vulture. Come on over here, lad. You're going to find your yellow egg today, all right? Find it. Good job. Over here. Now, inside the egg there is a meat reward. If you're wondering if the smell of the meat plays a factor in him finding the right color, the answer is no. There's an old myth or wives' tale that says if you were to find a baby bird, not to touch it because the parents would smell you and not take care of it. Has anybody heard that before?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
full.
that's just an old myth. Most birds do not have a sense of smell. There's one notable exception to that rule here in this country, and that is the turkey vulture with the red head. They have a fantastic sense of smell, and they can actually smell their prey items for about 2 miles away. He's done a great job for us here today. We'll send him back inside. Say goodbye to Igor, the black vulture of death. King vulture from South America. Give him a big welcome. Get ready to duck. And there we go. Nicely done, Ray. Now, this type of bird was once revered by the ancient Mayans. They believed it to be the messenger between their kings and their gods. They called them king's birds. Today we call them the king vulture. Now, the reason that he does not like men is not because he's ever been mistreated or abused or anything like that. He was an accidental hatch at a zoo where he was primarily raised by the lady zookeepers. But whenever he needed to be treated for medical reasons or to be groomed in some fashion, the guys would come around and restrain him because he's such a big bird. Consequently, 30 years later, he still has that stuck in his head. He thinks if we come near him, he's going to get grabbed. So he becomes on guard, which makes him very dangerous. Get ready to duck. Duck. Look alive, it's a vulture, look alive. It's a big vulture, look alive. And that was a pretty flight in, wasn't it? Point out, lords and ladies, as a matter of awareness, that of the 23 species of vultures that are found here on Earth, this year, unfortunately, 19 of those are endangered or critically endangered for a very unusual reason. It's related to ivory poaching. So what's been going on is in India and Africa, where they're hunting the elephants and rhinos for their ivory, unfortunately, the vultures actually know who the poachers are. So they are following the poachers around waiting for them to kill something. So when that happens, they've got a big stream of vultures following them around, which gives away their position to the wildlife officials. So the problem that presents is that now the poachers have to do something about it. So they've been shooting all of the birds they see, then poisoning the carcasses to kill off the rest of them. Problem with that is some of the giant vultures like this only produce one child every other year. So they just cannot keep up with the massive numbers that are being destroyed. Now that actually affected us directly here in the show, because for those of you that have been here in the past, do you remember we had a larger vulture, actually bigger than him. Her name was Ed. Does anybody remember her? Her species, the African whiteback vulture, declined in the wild 2 years ago by 99%. Which, unfortunately, she was one of only 12 of those whitebacks left here in this country. So, as a result, we partnered with the Dallas Zoo to set up a breeding program with her. After being in our show for the last 22 years, she's gone to live at the zoo to do great things. So we're very happy about that. I'm going to step out of the way. Please welcome Ronan, the Lanner Falcon. Now what we're doing is playing a game. It's actually intended to be a fun game for him. The object is for him to capture this lure. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Hup, hup, hup. Hup, hup, hup. Hup. Hup, 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 hup. Tip, 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 tip. My job is to keep it away as long as I can. His job is to catch it. And of course, he always wins this game. Hup, hup, hup. Tip, tip. Hup, hup, hup. That was some fast flying. Hup, hup, hup. Hup, hup, hup. Ha! Lords and ladies, Ronan!
Yes!
All right.
Yes, dude.
All right. Here we go. Gift of Boucher's Griffin. Have you heard that? What? Did you? And he did a great job. Now this beautiful bird is turning 18 this year. She's visiting us today from Liberty Wildlife. And this is one of several birds in their care for their education program. This particular bird is in captivity because unfortunately, as a baby bird, she was either kicked out by a sibling, a brother or a sister, or fell out of the nest. More likely the first thing. That's just how that goes in the wild.
Oh my God.
And on the way down, unfortunately, her eye was impaled on a branch. So she is missing one of her eyes, which made it difficult for her to survive out in the wild. Now, this is one of several birds in their care, but Liberty Wildlife, if you're not familiar with them, takes in a lot of different kinds of animals, wildlife right here in the community, sick and injured animals, and tries to return as many as they can back to the wild. To date, they have returned more than 100 bald eagles back to the wild that have been sick or injured. Now, the bald eagle, lords and ladies, is one of the largest nest-building birds in the world. The largest nest ever recorded was found in St. Petersburg, Florida. It was in a big pine tree, which is actually where I'm from, by the way. And it was 10.5 feet across, 12 feet deep, and when they weighed it after it blew down from a hurricane, the material weighed 2.5 tons. To the same nest every year, they add and build onto it, and sometimes the young will also return and add and build onto that same nest. One of our founding fathers disagreed that this should be our national symbol. Anybody know who? Ben Franklin, that's right. Among his many accomplishments, he was also an ornithologist, somebody who studies birds, and he knew a few things about bald eagles. In addition to the fact that they are great hunters, they are also really good scavengers, just like vultures. So, during the nomination process, he made the comment that this is a bird of poor moral character because it does not earn its living honestly. Which is why they chose something else, which is a great thing they didn't choose that one, or we'd all be embarrassed today, of all days. All right, lords and ladies, have you enjoyed your birds of prey this day? Please do remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle everything you can. It benefits them, and ultimately it benefits each and every one of us here today. If you would like to drop something in our baskets and show your love for the birds, please know all proceeds benefit these animals directly. Thank you all for joining us. Have a magical day here at our festival. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
royal sword. So champion. The score for today is and 10 points and 13 points.